So, coming at you from a real weird angle right now. Working on the Flak 38. And I have a little shop vac rigged up here. I have this cordless, it's multi-speed, little cutter. And what I'm doing is I'm trimming off these nubs and cleaning out these little track areas so I can install these little tube guides or whatever you want to call them. It'll all make sense when you see how it comes together. But yeah, I'm doing some modifications to the shield so I can get it mounted to the gun over here. Let me show you what I got going on real quick. So just to give you a little closer look, when I received this, the original part was busted off of here, and that would be this one here. Okay, this was sort of a solid arm that ran across to the other shield, and it looks like there was some kind of mounting system here that would have sat in this location, and I believe he used this as a guide to create his new resin parts. But here's where I'm at so far, and so far things are fitting well. Got a little bit of a gap here, but that's because of the pin that's in there. I'm probably going to lop that off or shorten it so we have a better fit. But the idea is when it's done, and I'll scratch build there's a bracket here that goes on both sides, and this is pinned together, but it's bolted to this shield. So, you know, you would pull this pin, you would disconnect this hinge point here, and the entire shield section would slide right off. And right now, that's exactly how this thing is working. It is pivotable and it is removable. So that's what I'm doing. But I want to set the camera down just to kind of show you how I have my little my little rig set up here. Hang on a minute. All right, once I get that area cleaned out, you can see where I have some styrene in here. And we'll super glue that down with the thick stuff. All right, let that set up for a minute or hit it with some accelerant, and then we're going to take the this file, and we're basically going to do both edges to get it to match that. Let's knock that out real quick. That's a little bit too much. Damn it. Hello. Everybody panic. Let's get some of this in the little edges here. All right, got us a nice little bite on reality there. Get us a little squirt of that accelerant. And then flat file. So you can notice that the white pieces are a little bit wider. So we're just gonna shave it on down. And this gun, by the way, is going to be painted. You know, the pans are gray colors. Because what I'm going to attempt to do is on the front of the shield, they have, you know, some of the units had markings of how many aircraft they shot down. Or maybe they took out a freaking tank or something, who knows. And I think the other Shield had, I've seen examples where maybe they had a U.S. flag or some other flag of the country. So, all right, let's check this thing. Let's fit it. So what we're going to do on this particular Shield here is we're going to mount these two guides. All right, these guide tubes. And you'll notice that one of them has an opening here which faces the inside of the gun. There will be a sort of a wing nut deal. Okay, and I'll have to trim it, which is going to go through those pieces, and that's what kind of, on the real one, secures this to the tube. So, how did I do this? Well, the tube, let's adjust the camera. I can't tell if this is a good angle or not, but anyhow, so I just used the tube, and I don't care about the tube's location. What I do care about are the location of these pins. If I can get this dude on there. You get the picture, right? We want to glue those on there. And then we're going to tape it down. But just kind of eyeball it using this line as your parallel reference. Do not use the bottom because that is an angled cut. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put some of this thick stuff on here again. If I can get it out. Okay. And I would think that it's obvious why I'm using this tube. Because we need these to be aligned. All right, I'm just going to eyeball this dude a little bit. That needs to come up some. That's pretty good. Now, where's my handy dandy? My handy dandy glue pad. I'm gonna load this up with a little bit of this thick stuff here. I'm gonna spin that. All right, I want to get a little bit of that thick stuff in that seam. Spin that toothpick in there. This one's off just a little bit, but not by a ton. All right, I'm going to get this the hell out of there. I'm going to come back, give that a shot. I'm running out of this product. I need to get some more. Cool, right? All right, let's get a little hair dryer going on it. All right, let's go back to the gun. All right. I'm still going to have to trim this, I'm sure. I got this one pinned. But let's get this side on. I'll still have to do some trim work here. And then come on, baby. Line up. And then I'll make some adjustments to this pin as well and get that in place. In fact, let's do that now while I'm thinking about it. So in the real vehicle, you'll notice there's like a, I can't tell if my camera's getting this or not, there's a bolt situation here. But it looks like there's a loop pin kind of deal with a hex kind of a thing on there. So I'm just going to drill this out in the middle best I can. I don't have my power tool with me. Almost. There we go. All right, so kind of waller this out a little bit. Let's find me a pin that may or may not work through here. Okay. Yeah, I may have to cut that off flush because if you look on here, it already has the hex bottom to it. So I'll trim this off later, but I do need to widen that hole a little bit. So we're just going to sort of do it this way instead of putting a bigger bit in there. Some adjustments there, folks. I think we might be in business. All right, check it out. We'll do some trimming and adjustment here. But now we'll let the shield go all the way around. There it is. Looks awesome. Now, so we've got some cleaning and some adjusting to do. But the next step will be to create a, we'll have a flat piece here with a, with a mounting hook, or that's not even the right term. Let's just say there's going to be a corresponding mount here that this will slide in between. Okay, so it'll be sort of a receiver that's going to go in here, which will get bolted through or pinned through because it is attached to this particular shield. So the shield's attached to this. This is attached to this hook. It's attached to there. This really should be hinged. The gentleman at Armored Packs did send me some of those that I could have put up here if I really wanted to get anal about it, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm okay here. I might scribe some lines on either side of this to sort of indicate a pivot point. But for me, this is pretty good. pretty happy with it. It's funny because all that detail work I did down here, you're not going to see a lot of it. But, yeah, there you go. And this is interesting, too. Remember when I made this adjustable link here? There's a corresponding slot, it looks like, for that. If the guy was to adjust this entire foot peg forward, I'm assuming that slot is there for that piece to come through. So that was an accidental kind of cool thing that just happened. So, humma, humma, humma. So I think I'm achieving what I sought after. This is loose. That's why it's crooked. Once I get it all glued into place and everything, it'll be straight, and we'll have a nice even spacing between the two. And then, of course, I've got some more pin work to do here. And then there's also a separate little loop that goes here and here, and there'll be a chain that comes off of that and loops into this. So there'll be 4 of those, right? 2 on each side. And then once we get this all settled, we'll trim the tube down, go ahead and put our wing nut stuff in there. I am going to throw some putty into these seams because I think, I want to say there's a weld seam in here. So that is another detail I'm going to address. But I hope you like it so far. It's getting there.